our district attorney arrived yet?
Oh, yeah. He's in makeup. Put up quite a fuss about putting that stuff on his face, but I convinced him finally.
You can tell he hasn't been in politics very long. You know, that usually becomes second nature with them. They walk in and they say, I think I need a little more number 5 under my eyes first thing in the morning.
Oh, hey, listen, you haven't seen my questions yet.
Oh, no.
So, you've seen this too about Mr. David Henson.
Yes, April sent it over to me.
I mean, isn't it ridiculous? I mean, the man agrees to meet Draper to talk about that job, and then he just takes off for Europe.
Well, darling, I don't think that means he doesn't want to see Draper. I just think it's an unfortunate delay.
I think it's an excuse.
Well, I'm sure that's what Draper believes, too. But, you know, the newspaper could be in error.
Oh, no, there isn't any error. April showed the same clipping to Miles, and he had a very simple idea. Why not just call Mr. Henson's law firm and find out where he is?
And did he?
Yes, and the article is correct. Mr. and Mrs. David Henson are off to Europe for 6 weeks. I'm sorry, Margot, but I have to agree with Draper. The only reason he agreed to meet with him was to placate Mike.
Oh, come on, now, I do not believe that. After all, I know David Henson. And believe me, he is a man of his word.
I hope you're right. Oh, I gotta get back to the studio. See you on the air.
Yes, have a good show.
Thank you.
David Henson, you'd better be a man of your word. David, our little talk that you think took place about my reversing my attitude on Draper, getting the job? No, that never took place.
What?
Forget everything I just said. Now, what I told you in our original conversation stands. If and when you meet with Draper Scott, you had better find out that he is not the type of attorney you need in your firm.
Yeah, but you just said...
Look, it is a woman's prerogative to change her mind. Now, surely you should understand that. David, our little bargain is still in effect. Capiche?
Margot, you're asking me to hurt this boy twice.
All right, would you rather hurt this boy or would you rather hurt yourself?
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Simply that if you give Draper Scott your seal of approval, your wife is going to hear a few things about your past that will make you a bachelor overnight. Yes.
Margot?
Hi, darling.
Well, is there anything new going on that I should know about?
No, nothing. Dear.
Thank you.
Oh, sweetheart, turn on the monitor for me, would you? It's like Nicole's about to start an interview.
And now election update turns to the local scene. One of the most hotly contested races in the city this year was for the office of district attorney, where Logan Swift, who several months ago was appointed to fill out the term of Ira Paulson, ran for his first full term in office against Frederick Upjohn, special prosecutor elected to the state's anti-crime task force. Early returns indicated that this could have been one of the closest contests on the board. However, the final tally showed that Mr. Swift, the incumbent, had won the election with a plurality of about 30,000 votes. Mr. Swift was kind enough to join us in the studio tonight. Congratulations, Mr. District Attorney.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Drake.
Now that you've won the office in your own right, and you have that security of a 4-year term, do you plan to introduce any changes into your department?
Nothing radical. I think I can assume that the people are generally happy with the way the office has functioned to this point. Otherwise, I guess I'd be cleaning out my desk right now and you'd be interviewing Mr. Upjohn, right? Not that I wish to imply that there isn't room for improvement, and I will be making such changes as I deem necessary to improve our performance.
Such as?
Well, if we really want to preserve the judicial system and to have it function the way the founders intended it to, and I think we do, then I think we must make a concerted effort to control crime on all levels.
Exactly what do you mean?
Well, when we think of a criminal, what's the image that comes to mind most of the time? A seedy character lurking around in an alley ready to pounce on an unsuspecting victim. Well, unfortunately, in our society, there are also a great many thieves who are very well dressed, and have a very high standing in the community.
You intend to declare war against white-collar criminals?
Well, I don't see why a man who uses a computer or a set of account books to steal should be treated with less severity than a man who uses a gun. I would like to see anyone who breaks the law prosecuted to the full extent of that law.
Will this in any way affect the way that you handle the common street criminal?
Well, unfortunately, my hands are tied in that area. The courts are so backed up right now. It's almost tragic. Until there's more money available, until we have more judges, more court personnel, all I can do is my best. I have to plea bargain until that time comes, which means that a goodly number of criminals will get off with sentences lighter than they deserve.
Well, unfortunately, statistics and projections predict that the next 4 years are going to be very busy ones for you, Mr. Swift.
Yes. All sorts of crime is on the rise, especially urban crime, everywhere, including Monticello. The unfortunate economic climate right now means that there'll be a rise in unemployment, and whenever that happens, street crime goes up.
How do you plan to cope with it?
Well, I hope that I have assembled a dedicated, competent staff who will be able to rise to the occasion, but it does mean we're going to have to put our collective nose to the grindstone.
Well, I know that you command a great deal of respect with the municipal administration. However, you are only one half of the forces of law and order. Have you been able to, had a chance to make an appointment to see our new police chief?
No, I haven't yet. I did receive a congratulatory telegram from him, which was very gratifying. I hope to meet with him and his staff very soon. I've heard very good things about him, but he does have a tough job trying to step into Bill Marceau's shoes.
The day I hear my name mentioned without being compared to Bill Marceau's, I'm gonna throw a party. All right, now where were we? Do you like your job, Detective Saxon?
Yes, sir, I like it very much.
Do you feel that you're an effective police officer?
I feel I do a very good job, yes.
Well, I think you have a very funny way of showing your dedication to this department.
Well, I wasn't aware that a problem existed.
It's a very difficult thing to do your job at all, much less be good at it when you don't spend all that much time on duty.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Detective, I've been going over the manpower reports for the past 2 weeks. And I see here that you have been late for your shift 3 times during that period.
I guess that's correct, yes.
We are undermanned here. Underwomaned, if that term suits you better. So anytime you decide to take a little bit more beauty sleep, we all have to pick up the slack.
I'm sorry, Chief. I can assure you that I won't let it happen again.
Well, your punctuality isn't the only thing that caught my eye on these reports.
Well, what else have I done?
On those rare occasions when you do decide to grace us with your presence, you seem to have the idea that you can choose your caseload.
Well, I may have taken myself off 1 or 2 cases.
Try 4. I don't believe it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. Not around here.
One of the reasons I changed my assignment was so that I could work on the case with the young girl who was just raped. I was the only detective she could relate to.
This is not a department store, detective. You cannot simply pick and choose your assignments and do the things you think will be enjoyable.
Oh, you think it was fun for me to get a 17-year-old girl to open up and talk to me about a degrading ordeal?
From now on, when you get an assignment, just take it. No questions asked. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Maybe I should apologize a little for coming down so strong on you like this. I'm sure that Chief Marceau must have been willing to accommodate you. I also know that Calvin Stone is a good friend of yours. Well, I'm sure the 2 of them must have just given you the run of the place.
No, wait a minute, Chief Mallory. You seem to have determined that I am habitually late and somewhat of a prima donna. I can assure you, you are very wrong.
Am I?
I have been a member of this police force for a little over a year now. And if you had bothered to check the manpower report prior to the last 2 weeks, you would have seen that I was never late, and nor did I ask for any assignment changes. Well, maybe 1 or 2, but that was it.
I can assure you that in the future I will watch your file very carefully.
You know, the reason I've been a little disorganized lately is because I've had some personal problems.
Break up with your boyfriend?
I have become the target of an anonymous caller. This person is trying to shake me up a little bit. Either I hear nothing on the other end of the line, or he plays some kind of strange music. That's the only reason I've been late, is because these calls have been coming in at all hours of the night.
Well, I'm sorry that you have problems, but we all do. You're just going to have to learn how to leave them behind you when you come on duty. When you walk into headquarters, your mind and your body belong to the Monticello PD. The sooner you realize that, the sooner we'll get along.
Yes, sir.
Chief, I wonder... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy. I'll come back later.
No, that's all right, Dr. Kavanaugh. Come in. We're finished. I believe that we understand each other both perfectly clearly now, don't we?
We certainly do.
How are things, Deborah?
Couldn't be better.
What can I do for you?
Well, I ran into a rather complex situation last night. I really don't know how to handle it.
You coming to me for a consultation?
Yeah, I guess so. I was at Monticello General, and a man was brought in with a gunshot wound.
Well, I assume you made sure the incident was reported.
Yeah, the report's on file. The problem is I don't know whether the real story's in the report.
Oh?
Yeah, the victim's name was Harvey Hayes. His son brought him in. He had a shoulder wound.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, Hayes contends that the wound was self-inflicted. He says he was cleaning his gun when it went off.
Does he have a license for the piece?
Yes, he has a license. He owns a grocery store. I think he keeps a gun for protection.
Well, grocery store owners do keep pistols for protection. What are you driving at?
What I'm driving at is that I was having a hard time buying his story. The configuration of the wound seemed to indicate that he couldn't have shot himself.
Why would he lie?
Well, when his son was with him, he seemed very much afraid. When finally I got the guy alone, he said something about if he ever found his son trying to borrow his gun again, he was going to break both of his arms.
So you think his son shot him?
That would be my guess, yes.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that a domestic quarrel wound up with shots being
domestic
fired.
quarrel, except I looked into this kid, this Benny Hayes. He's out on bail right now. Deborah brought him in last week on possession. I thought, well, you know, if he did shoot his father, we ought to do something about it.
No, you're right. Let's get old man Hayes down to headquarters for some questioning.
All right, except the problem with that is he's so scared of his son, he's likely not to tell the truth. The reason I came in, Chief, was to see if I could get your permission to use the forensics lab to follow up on this theory of mine.
Well, be my guest. If you find any concrete evidence to back up your theories, let me know right away.
All right, I just wanted to keep you apprised.
Thanks.
By the way, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Well, when Deborah walked out of here a couple of minutes ago, she seemed a little upset. Is there some problem?
Well, even if there was, Dr. Kavanaugh, that really wouldn't concern you.
No, I just thought I might be able to help. I mean, Deborah's a friend.
Well, maybe that's the problem around here. Everybody seems to be everybody else's friend.
Frankly, Scar, the way you've been treating me lately, I ask myself the same question. You think maybe it's love?
Look, don't you have any work to do?
We're back at my office, but they're having a victory celebration for Logan. That's why I'm here.
Well, look, I've got a lot of work to do, so if you wouldn't mind, I would like to have my own desk back.
Why are you in a
please.
bad mood? You're usually not this nasty to me till I've been here in at least 10 minutes.
Look, I have taken my share of lip today. Now get up
Just sir, your chair, ma'am.
and take a box of candy with you.
It's not my candy. It's yours.
I didn't buy any candy.
It's a gift. Before you get excited, it's not for me. Some kid delivered it before you came in. Oh, is he upset you weren't here to give him a tip?
Oh, now you've started opening my gifts, huh?
Well, my curiosity got the best of me. I'll have you know, this is very expensive candy.
You know, you have a lot of nerve.
I did not open up the box, tempted as I was. It's, from Owen Poopsie.
Now you're opening up my cards.
That wasn't any big secret. You know, this guy is really showing his age. First of all, he sends you a flower, and then he sends you a box of candy. How old-fashioned.
Owen never sent flowers to my office. The only person who was kind enough to send flowers to me was you.
Yeah, that's right.
And if I hadn't seen the card with Owen's name on it in the wastebasket, I never would have known Owen had sent that rose.
Hey, it's the thought that counts, you know. On my salary, I'm lucky I can afford to buy you a plastic dandelion. You know, those candies cost $1 a piece. Next thing you know, I'll be mink coats and diamond bracelets.
Look, I am having a very difficult day today. Please don't make it any worse.
Okay. I'll just sit in my own little chair here and quietly wait for you to finish.
No, you're not.
Hey, now, don't tell me you got a dinner date because I checked on Owen's schedule and I know he's busy with that movie.
No, I have a date with my work. Some people around here don't think I work hard enough.
Yeah, come in.
Well, look who's here. Hi, April.
Hi, Logan. How are you? Please make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Well, television is a fast-moving business. 2 hours ago, Margot was in charge of everything. Now you're behind the desk.
Oh, no. Margot Huntington still owns the station. I'm just borrowing her desk. Look, you looking for her? She's down the hall at a budget meeting.
No, I just wanted to thank her for having me on the show, that's all.
Logan, I got to tell you that Draper and I are absolutely thrilled with the results of the election, even though we knew it was in the bag to begin with.
Oh, yeah? Did you know that when those first returns started coming in?
Hey, come on, I voted for you. And I even told the people down the polls that I should be allowed to vote twice. Once for me and once for little citizen here.
Well, how are the two of you doing now, anyway?
The two of us are absolutely wonderful.
Well, you take care. Don't overdo this work nonsense. I am looking forward to becoming Uncle Logan.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen, Uncle Logan, now that the election is over, don't you think it's about time that you slow down? I would say that Jamie is looking forward to spending a little more time with his daddy.
For a while there, it looked like I was going to be able to spend all my time with him, didn't it?
Oh, Logan, how anyone in the world could have voted for Fat Freddy is just beyond my comprehension.
Well, you saw those items he managed to plant in the paper, the stuff about my family problems.
Yeah, that was unfair.
He had his facts straight. My wife walked out on me.
Logan, that does not put you in the wrong. Oh, no. Oh, Logan, you're not thinking that way. You can't possibly be blaming yourself.
Nothing is ever one-sided.
Well, yes, it is, sometimes. Come on, don't be so impartial. Logan, what happened was totally Raven's fault.
Well, you don't sound very impartial, that's for sure.
Well, I'm not. It's because I happen to believe that what you did was right. Logan, I know you loved Raven. I know how much you loved Raven.
Sure was wrong about her, though, wasn't I?
So what? So what? I mean, when you found out, you did the only thing you could do. Logan, it takes a very, very strong person to let go of someone they love, no matter what the reason. Well, there, I mean, that is my second vote for you, Mr. D.A.
Cliff, your hanging around here is making me very nervous. It's very hard for me to work.
Getting to you, huh? I knew I'd drive you crazy.
Look, why don't you just go back to work, huh? Or go home or go on vacation. Just go.
Hey, give me your key. I'll meet you back at your apartment.
Look, why don't I give you one of those nice, rich, delicious chocolates? Maybe then you'd leave?
I am kind of hungry.
Well, you are always hungry. I'll make it 2 pieces.
Sweeten up the deal, huh? How about 2 pieces of chocolate and a quarter to go to the movies?
Now, what kind of a movie are you going to see for a quarter?
Well, you don't know? Make it 50 cents and we'll both find out.
Impossible.
Come on. A deal's a deal. Give me the goodies, Scarlett.
Ooh, look at that. Fat City.
Which one are the caramels? Those are the ones I like.
I don't know, but I like the ones with the strawberry centers.
You know, if you push your finger hard, you can squish them and you can find out what's inside without even eating them.
I really like the ones with the big nuts in them, too.
What's going on here?
Oh, hello, Chief.
Is your birthday today, Detective?
No, why do you ask me that?
Well, that would be one excuse for why you're sitting here having a party at your desk during your work hours.
Oh, I'm not having a party.
You're going to tell me that this man stole these candies from a little old lady and you're here booking him?
Look, Chief, I think you're making...
Chief! Ah, Chief. You must be Chief Derek Mallory.
And who might you be?
Cliff Nelson. I'm the acting district attorney. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Do you work, Mr. Nelson, or just hang around my lady detective?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's something over at the law library that I have to look up. Well, happy birthday, Scarlett, Detective Saxon. It's from all the guys over at the district attorney's office.
I assume you have something to keep you busy.
Yes, sir. Care for a piece of chocolate?
Oh, thank you.
Well, is it all right if I have one? Or have you made a new rule about not eating at our desk?
No, I haven't. Not yet, anyway. You all right? What's the matter? You... Oh, God. You all... Come with me.
Yeah, well, having your stomach pumped's not very pleasant, but at least the effects don't linger.
Well, I can think of better ways to spend my nights.
Sure you can. But Chief Mallory didn't want to take any chances. And if those chocolates you'd eaten contained anything more toxic, he could have lost a very valuable officer.
Well, I'm not so sure that Chief Mallory thinks I'm valuable.
Why do you say that? He was very concerned. He was with you all the way.
Miles, were you able to determine what those chocolates were laced with?
Yes, well, as a matter of fact, you could have been treated with a simple emetic. Turns out they had been lightly coated with a little bit of bug spray.
Oh.
Yeah. You would have had to eat a lot more for it to do you any harm.
Yeah, well, one piece was enough.
Oh, exactly. You could taste it. So that means whoever did that didn't have murder in mind, just probably wanted to give you an unpleasant treat.
Well, they certainly did that.
You have any idea who the culprit might be?
Hey, I'm a cop, Miles. I've got more than one enemy. It comes with a job.
You don't have any idea who it could have been?
No. None at all.
Deborah, I really think you ought to give some more serious thought to who might have done this to you.
Look, you said I'm going to be fine. That's the most important
Look, your
thing.
friend might try it again, and the next time with something a little bit more harmful.
Why, you told me to watch what I'm eating? Believe me, I will.
Why are you taking this so lightly?
Look, this person played a practical joke on me. I'm not going to make a federal case out of it.
Well, you may not want to pursue it, but Chief Mallory's taking it seriously. He's very upset someone might try to harm one of his detectives.
I didn't know he cared.
Well, he appropriated the box of chocolates, he appropriated the note, he seems determined to get to the bottom of it.
How's the patient, Doctor?
Fine, we were just talking about it. Just needs a little rest, she'll be fine.
Glad to hear that. You gave me some scare, Detective.
Thank you for coming to my rescue, Doc.
No, it was Dr. Cavanaugh who came to your rescue.
Well, I'm sorry I caused any trouble.
No apologies are needed. Just promise me the next time you have a snack at your desk, you get something from the health food store.
I promise.
Let's talk about who'd want to harm you like this. Tell me about Owen.
Owen?
That is, who signed the card that came with the candy. I assume he's an admirer, perhaps an unrequited admirer.
I can assure you, Chief, that Owen did not send me those candies.
How can you be so positive?
Because he's a friend of mine. He wouldn't do such a thing.
How close a friend?
Well, close enough to know that he wouldn't try to hurt me.
And why would he send you a box of chocolates laced with poison?
He didn't. That's just the point. I think so. Whoever it is playing a practical joke on me. They just probably put his name down because they thought it was funny.
Well, if Owen's not our man, then who is?
I don't know, Chief.
Well, I figure it's got to be somebody who knew about your relationship with Owen. Somebody who wasn't too pleased about it. So tell me, who was the man you dumped when you started seeing Owen?
I thought you were the one who told me never to bring my personal life into my work.
Somebody tried to poison you. Now, that happens to be a crime. Policemen are supposed to find people who commit crimes. Hasn't anybody told you this?
I really think we ought to let Deborah rest now, all right?
All right. Detective, you are off the active roster. Until Dr. Cavanaugh gives you a clean bill of health. We're going to talk about this some more later. I hope you feel better.
I'll stop by again before I leave, Deborah.
She really okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's just been through a bad experience. That's what's making her a little bit testy now.
She's holding out on me. She knows more about what happened tonight than she's willing to admit.
Look, it's not my place to tell you how to run your business, but if she thinks that she can handle this personally, don't you think that'd be the best idea?
I suppose as long as I have lady cops on my force, I'm going to have to get used to this sort of thing.
What does that mean?
Oh, don't worry. It doesn't mean I'm coming down on lady cops. It's just that they have such complicated love lives, especially the good-looking ones.
Well, policemen have the same kinds of problems, don't they?
Policemen don't always get candy and flowers, do they? No, take my word for it. There's a jealous lover at the bottom of this. Or do you have a theory of your own?
I didn't know that I had the right to have a theory of my own, Chief.
There's something almost mesmerizing about watching a fire, isn't there?
I can't hear you, Nola. I'm almost mesmerized from looking at that fire.
Very funny.
I like the warmth, though.
The nights are getting colder.
Yeah, I've never been much for this kind of weather. I want to get back to L.A. where I can watch the palm trees sway and not the snow pile up.
Well, it won't be long before you can follow the sun. Filming is almost completed.
I should never have come east. Should have stayed in west.
Why do you say that?
Oh, I thought that paying a visit to my old friends, the Madisons, would do us all a lot of good, but I guess it hasn't worked out that way.
You're wrong, Eddie. You came here to bring us the script for Mansion of the Damned, and we're all grateful to you for that.
Well, at least it got you and Owen back in the picture business again.
You changed our lives, Eddie.
It won't change Brian and Paige's lives.
Oh, how can you say that? This picture is the beginning of an acting career for Paige. And Brian has proven that he has talent as a director.
I wasn't talking about their professional lives.
Eddie.
Nola, we can change their lives, you and me. We can give those kids everything they've ever wanted.
Eddie, not another word.
Look, can't you see how wrong it is? I mean, we can't continue to live this lie.
Look, 25 years ago, you swore to me that we'd never discuss this again.
Too much has happened, Nola. Too many people are being hurt.
I refuse to discuss that in this house, especially here.
Do you think it would be terrible if somebody overheard and learned the truth in this house? I think it would be a blessing.
Brian never should have told you.
Brian and Paige love each other.
They'll get over it.
They shouldn't have to get over it. They should be able to live happily ever after with each other because they're not related.
Look, Owen is their father.
Owen is Paige's father. I am Brian's.
Owen believes he fathered both of those children, and he must never know the truth.
He doesn't have to. Look, maybe we could tell the whole story to the kids and swear them to secrecy.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Don't you think Owen would be a mite suspicious when Paige and Brian run off and elope?
Well, I don't want to hurt Owen, but it's just not right to force those kids to stay apart.
Look, Owen wouldn't be hurt, Eddie. He would be ecstatic.
What, to find out that his wife and his best buddy have been lying to him all these years?
It would only confirm every suspicion he's ever had about me being a wicked old witch. Any thought he ever had about leaving me would be obliterated.
No, I don't buy that, Nola.
Look, If this ever came out, it would be Owen's ticket to freedom. Not only would he be convinced that he should divorce me, he'd have grounds.
No, he's a pretty reasonable guy.
Well, I can't let that happen, and I won't. I'm not going to lose Owen to that red-headed Jezebel. I'll see her in hell first.
Hey, sorry I'm late. One of the shop stewards fired a grievance report and I had to meet with the union reps.
Well, we've kept the home fires burning for you.
Hey, take it easy with that fire. Nola, what do you want to do, set the house on fire?
No, Owen. I can't believe that we have only 2 more scenes to shoot and then Mansion of the Damned will be completed.
You know, the twist in the last scene of that movie is really going to shock that audience.
Oh, I say good for Hester. After all her trials and tribulations, she still gets the one thing in the world that she wants most.
Yeah, she does, but consider what she has to pay for it.
It's amazing how this whole project just rose up out of the ashes, huh?
Well, a few months ago, we were sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. Not that we expected anyone to call.
Well, after this picture is released, your phone isn't going to stop ringing. You're going to be deluged with offers.
Well, what do I do until then?
Well, you worked very hard, Nola. I think you ought to just rest and relax.
I could use a vacation. Perhaps we could go off somewhere. Just the 2 of us.
Well, right now is really out of the question, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you may be able to wrap with the crew tomorrow, but this is just the beginning of phase 2 for Owen.
Post-production, right?
Yeah, which of course entails my going out to Hollywood.
Well, you managed to produce the film in Monticello. Why can't it be finished here?
Well, I mean, even if I could find an editor here, all the top facilities are out on the West Coast.
Makes sense, Nola.
And by the by, I am going to take Brian out there with me. Well, I mean, as the director, he does have the right of the first cut of the film, you know?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Then we can all go. Oh, I'd love to see our old friends again anyway.
Well, I don't know, Nola. Are you sure that you want to?
Of course. You're not going to leave me all alone here, are you? To sit here and shiver throughout the winter? Oh, what fun it will be. Just like the old days.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to be pretty busy, you know. Once I get an answer print, I'm going to have to start looking around for a distributor.
You know, there's something else we ought to do. Have a wrap party.
That's a lovely idea.
Well, I suppose we're not going to flaunt tradition, are we? What do you think? Should we have it on the set?
Oh, no, Owen. That would be tacky. Let's have it right here. With plenty of champagne and caviar.
Oh, come on. Take it easy on the budget, will you?
Oh, but we want this production to end in a blaze of glory, don't we?
Excuse me. A phone call for you, Mr. Madison.
Oh, thank you,
Did you
Lily.
find out who's calling, Lillian? I told you always to get the party's name.
I was just told it was from the police headquarters.
My, Owen. In trouble with the law again?
Excuse me.
Owen, I apologize for calling you at home. I realize it's kind of awkward, but I have to talk to you.
Hey, no problem. I'm glad to know you were thinking about me.
Well, I have to know something. It may not sound like much to you, but it's important to me.
Ask away.
Did you happen to send a box of chocolates to me at my office today?
No. Actually, the last thing I sent you was that rose, remember?
You didn't send me a box of chocolates.
No. Sounds like a good idea, though.
Oh, no. Promise me you'll never do that, ever.
Do you mean to tell me that some anonymous admirer sent you a box of chocolates and you thought they were from me?
Oh, I didn't really think they were from you, but I just had to make sure.
Well, I mean, who did it? Are you telling me that I have some kind of competition? Is that it?
No, you don't have competition, believe me. Look, just do me a favor. Don't ever mention this again, okay? It's no big thing. Okay, so I'll see you later. All right? It was really nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
I keep telling you, all this candy you're eating is going to do nasty things to your insides.
I promise you, I've made my last visit to Harry's sweet shop. Word of honor.
Hey, I'd have been here sooner, but I was on call. How you feeling?
Ugh. Well, before it was like somebody's operating a meat grinder in my stomach, but I'm fine now. Throat.
That good, huh?
Yeah.
I talked to Miles. He said you'll feel better tomorrow morning.
I can't wait for the sun to shine.
I also talked to Chief Mallory. You know, I don't think he's the super sleuth he's cracked up to be.
Why do you say that?
Well, he told me that some joker did this to you. Some joker named Owen. I told him that he must be mistaken.
Yeah, well, you're right, Steve. Owen didn't do this to me.
Well, you have any idea who did this to you?
I've been lying here trying to think pleasant thoughts, Steve.
When I leave here, I'm going to pick up Benny Hayes.
Oh, you think he did it?
Sure, he's out on bail. He could have done it. Why not? I think I'll have a little chat with him. Maybe we'll book him for attempted murder.
Well, you know, it was only bug spray, Steve. This person didn't mean to kill me.
Look, Benny can hardly read his own name, much less the directions on a can, you know. Maybe he thought he was poisoning you.
Actually, I don't think it was Benny because I don't think he even knows who Owen is.
Oh.
Steve, look, why don't we just drop a list of suspects tomorrow, okay? I don't feel like talking.
Yeah, okay. I'm just concerned. You know, it bothers me, especially when crimes are committed against police officers, and particularly this police officer.
I appreciate that.
Here's something, you know that? You amaze me. Here you've been poisoned, you've had your stomach pumped, and you look terrific.
If that's a compliment, thank you.
Yes, it's a compliment. I don't know how you do it. You must be a witch.
Don't say that.
Don't tell me you're starting to believe in this witchcraft.
What?
Deborah, do you think that there is a connection with this incident and your association with the Mansion of the Damned?
I'm not involved in the movie.
You are involved with the producer.
Steve.
Look, maybe somebody's not very happy with Owen, huh? And maybe they're trying to get at him through you.
No, I don't think so.
You know the phone calls you've been getting? The music on the other end? The medieval music? Mansion of the Damned type music. Now maybe, just maybe, somebody connected with the movie is making the phone calls and they sent you this gift.
Steve, come on, I want to get some sleep, okay? We'll talk tomorrow.
All right. I'm just trying to help. Get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
Draper, I'm not even sure the district attorney should be an elected official. Maybe he should be appointed.
Now what are you complaining about?
It's not a political job, is it? It's just law enforcement.
You won, Swifty, so don't knock the process. I'm sure Fat Freddy's doing that right now.
I was lucky. I was damn lucky. That stuff about Raven should have hurt me a lot more than it did.
It did hurt you, Swifty. Just not politically.
Well, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, I bet you Geraldine's happy about all this.
Happy as she could be. Can't wait for my 4-year term to be up so she can run me for senator or president, king, something, I don't know.
She's a terrific lady to have on your side.
Yeah, we both got one of those. April is just terrific.
I agree.
Saw her up at WMON this morning. I was on that news program. She was glowing maternally.
She's never looked better.
Well, that makes one of you. What's the matter with you?
Me? Nothing. Fine.
The hell you say? You're still brooding about that miserable job in New York, aren't you?
Me? Excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't brood.
What'd you find out about that? I mean, was the paper right about Henson?
Yeah. The Journal was right. Henson's going to be traveling abroad for a month and a half. Miles called Seward Paxton. They concurred.
I see.
It's the old runaround, Swifty. I'm getting the old song and dance.
You don't know that for sure yet.
I can feel it.
Is the job still open or isn't it?
That's what Mike says.
Well, then that's all that matters.
Look, I'm going to get out of here. I came here to congratulate you, not cry on your shoulder.
I don't mind. It's nice to have somebody to talk to.
Now, where is Geraldine tonight?
Well, she got invited to a dinner. She invited me, but I decided I didn't want to go.
You can always talk to Jamie. I guess he's not much of a conversationalist, huh?
No, but he's a very deep thinker.
Look, if you get a babysitter, why don't you come on over to our place for dinner?
No, thanks, not tonight. Take a rain check.
You ought to be celebrating.
Don't worry about me so much, huh? All right?
Yeah. Look, I know your divorce isn't quite final yet, but maybe you ought to be seeing some people?
Female people?
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do that. Threw away the old black book when I got married.
Sure you did.
You're feeling guilty, aren't you? Because you're going home to a beautiful blonde and I got to stay here and tend the baby.
Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow.
Right, take care.
You spend any more time in front of that and you're gonna have a heat stroke.
Well, you know how much I like fires.
Yes, and what was that dumb remark in front of Owen about ending up our picture with in a blaze of glory?
Well, I just wanted to suggest to him that the production end on a high note. It was only a figure of speech.
You meant that literally, Nola. You're still thinking about lighting fire to the studio and blaming it on the curse on the movie. Well, that's a ridiculous idea.
Well, personally, I think it's a wonderful idea. But if you're not going to help me, I'll just forget all about it.
Well, make sure you do, will you?
It worked beautifully for the last production of Mansion of the Damned, didn't it?
That fire was not deliberately set. And they lost the movie. They didn't make a penny out of it.
Yes, but they got news coverage. The story of that fire was on national television, remember?
Nola, I don't even want to discuss it.
It's our studio, Eddie. We can do with it whatever we like. And if you're worried about the insurance company claiming arson, well, we'll just refuse the settlement. The publicity would be worth far more than the cash
Nola,
anyway.
will you just cut it out?
All right, Eddie, all right. I won't say another word about it. If you're so sure it's such a bad idea.
I think it's a terrible idea. And don't you get any notions about doing it on your own either.
Oh, don't worry, Eddie. I'm not that brave.
I think I'll go and change for dinner.
All right, Eddie.